The more you build trust, the easier the sales process becomes. Marketing that used to work for medical providers, it no longer works. And if anybody tells you any different, they're lying. Go ahead and pack your shit, find the nearest exit, and just run. There are a lot of marketing companies for medical practices and ad agencies for doctors that are on Beyonce's internet still to this day. And they are teaching very outdated methods and tactics that just no longer work, that are basically bleeding you dry financially. So in this video, we're going to talk about what works. Oh, and if you're new here, I'm Cheri, owner of Cheri Cobb Creative, a concierge marketing and growth company for medical providers. And we're going to talk about what works and what no longer works. So if the goal is to build a dream clientele, increase revenue, and build a practice that you can't stop talking about, like a practice of your dreams, you're going to want to stick around to the very end of this video. I used to work for a cosmetic dentist that would easily drop $10,000 on paid ads each and every month. He had a very outdated website, no social media, maybe a Facebook at the very least, no email marketing strategy, zero to no Google reviews. That was not a strategy. He cared nothing about Google reviews. But guess what? We were booked and busy. I'm talking phone ringing off the hook. Patients would walk into the office with the flyers, the mailers in hand, and they would say, whatever this new patient special is, I want 14 of them. Sign me up for it right now. So that was a strategy that once worked. I was a new patient coordinator and I worked very closely with the marketing department. And I just remember jaw to the floor being in those meetings where I just remember him saying, just take $10,000 out for the advertisement. But again, it was a strategy that worked back then. Now, here's something that the ad agencies will never admit, okay? But I'm going to tell you the truth. If you ever partner with, or if you're currently partnering with an ad agency right now, and all they're doing is just pushing you to run more ads, invest in more ad spend, then you need to break up with that relationship, because they are basically like out to get you. They're teaching you things that are outdated that just no longer work because buyer behavior has shifted. And the number one thing that you should be focused on as a medical provider is building trust, because that is what's going to move the needle for your business. Now, back in the day, people would see the shiny object, which is the ad, run across their feed. And they would have no problem with booking the appointment. They, like I say, we were booked and busy. They saw the ad, they would come in. But now buyer behavior has shifted and patients are doing their homework. And I'm talking intense homework. Hell, they want to know your social security number before they even book an appointment. So they're doing research and we see the clicks, we monitor, we see how they go from the ad over to your Google reviews, because they want to know you are who you say you are. They want to hear other patients brag about their exceptional experience at your office. They want to go on social media. They want to do all the things. So we see them go from the ad to the Google review, to your social media, to your website, which your About Us page is the highly visited page on any of our clients' websites. They want to go there because they want to know more about the provider before they book the appointment. And especially if you are the type of provider that offers cash pay services, high ticket services, the higher the price, the more research the client is going to want to do before they book an appointment. And back then, I guess they just didn't care about doing homework. They didn't care about who their provider is. But the level of skepticism has raised, because I'm sure you watch the news and every other day someone's getting arrested for administering fake Botox or placing fake veneers. There's, so many things that are going on right now. So everyone is just wanting to do more intense homework before they book an appointment. And to be honest, I don't blame them, because if I was looking up where I could go get a breast augmentation in Dallas, Texas, I want the best of the best provider. I got to go to sleep. Y'all got to cut on me. You got to insert a foreign implant into my body, I want to know that I'm going to a credentialed, licensed provider that knows what the hell they're doing. So I don't blame clients for doing their homework. So you have to remember that ads only help amplify your reach, but they don't help build trust. And trust is built through your organic content. So again, if you're partnering with an ad company and they are not making sure you have a solid organic presence first, and all they're doing is just telling you to invest in more ads, then you just need to run, because they don't mean you any good. And you're basically going to just waste a bunch of ad spend unless you have that organic presence solid, because that is what patients use to check off the list to make sure you are who you say you are and that they can connect with you. So now, a lot of clients always say, well, Cheri, what do we talk about? If you're telling us not to talk about our Botox special, or not to push our new FDA cleared device, or not to talk about our buy one, get one breast augmentation special, what do we talk about? Let me be honest. Most aesthetic practices are sitting on thousands in missed revenue. And it's not because patients are not interested in your services. It is simply because nobody knows what to do during the downtime, during those slower moments. And that is exactly why I put together a list of 37, come a little closer, 37 revenue generating activities to get that momentum flowing back into your practice. And it allows you to fill the gaps in your schedule instantly. All you got to do is click the link in the description box below. Now let's get back into the video. I always say start with the 5 F's. First off, you have to remember that your content is not there to sell. Your content is there to make sure you are the number one provider, that you are the top choice. So when that person is ready to buy or is ready to book an appointment, you will be the first one that they choose. So when you keep that in mind, you understand the importance of building trust. Now, how can you build trust? What can I talk about? Back to the 5 F's: fitness, fashion, food, faith, and finances. So we have a client right now. Probably about 6 months ago or so, she told me that she wanted to start weaving in some faith-related content. She wanted to talk about God more. She had a very strong relationship with God, and she wanted to talk about that on her platform. And I thought that was a fantastic idea. So just a few days ago, I saw a message that came through in her inbox, and the lady was like, I just really love coming across your videos. God is so good. Your videos make me feel so good. And that is the key thing. Now, while that conversation wasn't tied directly to booking an appointment or scheduling a consultation or how much do you charge for Botox or whatever, that person felt something. The content that we post for this specific client is making people feel something. And that is the goal. Your marketing should always make people feel something, because some people, not all people, they don't buy off logic. They buy off emotion. And when you can make someone feel something, they're going to remember that feeling. People don't remember facts. They don't remember how much your Botox is per unit. They don't remember how you go under the muscle to insert an implant. They remember how you make them feel. And the more feelings you can curate, the more connections you will create. And connections lead to conversion. Content, connection, conversation, conversion, in that order. So that's why your number one focus as a medical provider is to build trust. Figure out how you can make people feel something. Pick one of the 5 F's. Hold the camera up to your face. This doesn't have to be this overly polished production, okay? Pick up the camera, hold it up to your face, and talk about something that just moves you today, something that motivates you today. If you want to talk about your favorite food or the restaurant that you go to, tell more stories. That's another thing that you need to do within your content, because again, people always remember stories. It's how the human brain is wired. Tell more stories. Tell a story about how you go to this Italian restaurant with your grandparents on your birthday every year. And the reason y'all go is because you have a sentimental connection to this Italian restaurant. There is this carbonara dish that they serve, and you just love it so much, and they make it that, like, people love the details. And I know it's painful. I know you're probably wondering, like, well, how am I going to make money, and how am I going to get more clients in our chairs and treatment rooms if I'm not talking about my services and my offers? Trust me, people will become interested. They will become intrigued by the stories that you tell, which will then keep your services top of mind. So guess what? Whenever they are ready to book, you will be the first one that comes to mind, because they remember that story about, the story that you told about going to this Italian restaurant. And guess what? Maybe they like Italian food too. You never know. I can't tell y'all how many clients have reached out to me, not because I'm just the best at what I do or because I do marketing this sort of way or that sort of way. No, they have reached out because they know I had a child at 16 years old. I've told that story time and time again. Or they reached out because they were also caretakers for someone in their family while they were going through a cancer diagnosis. Or maybe they're connected to my story about how I was a burnt out medical biller for so many years, that wanted more financial freedom and wanted to be in a position where I can help more providers and cut out the middleman, which was the insurance company. Those are stories that I have told within my marketing, and I will get clients that will come up to me, or they will message me or DM me or fill out an inquiry form on our website. And that is what they say. They say, Cheri, I connected to your story. It was a piece of your story that you told that made me feel more connected to you, where I could relate to you. And that is why we want to work with you. That is why we want you to help us build a practice of our dreams. And here's the thing. A lot of you think it's your skill, or you think it's because you have the most modalities in your zip code, or you might be the best injector in your city. And all of that is stuff in your head. And I know it sounds good. It looks good on paper, but nobody cares. They care more about you telling a story of how you're an overworked, overwhelmed, overstimulated mom of 3, but somehow or another you keep shit together so that you can run your business. Those are the stories that people love to hear because they can relate to them. So other than telling stories and being very personal within your content, 2 other strategies that work that help build trust are anything that involves in-person interaction. Host events. Host profitable events. Now, if you're looking for your med spa event to be a quick cash injection, you want it to be profitable, you want it to where patients will come back and book services, what I want you to do is click the link in the description box below, download a free copy of my med spa event planning checklist. This way, you will be sure to host a profitable event. You'll have all the tools, resources, and everything else that you need to host a profitable event. Host more events. Get people in your office, in your space. In a world full of automation, full of AI, people are craving connection. They want to be a part of something. They want to get out of the house and mix and mingle. So hosting in-office events are perfect for this. But again, make sure it is planned. It is a strategic event, not just a good time. I mean, yeah, we want to have a good time, but it's not just about cheese and wine. Oh, that rhymes. Good time, cheese, and wine. And all that sounds good, because trust me, I love a glass of wine. But I want to make sure you host a profitable event that is going to help you, again, get that much closer to building the practice of your dreams, one that you just cannot stop freaking talking about. Another strategy that works: in-office walk-in days, walk-in injectable days. If you offer neurotoxins, fillers, all the things, you should be hosting in-office days. This is a time where clients can just walk in and they can get whatever injectables done that they want. New patients, existing patients, all the things. This is something that works because, once again, it puts clients in your space and they want to be in your space. This is how you build trust. And that is key. That is the most important thing that you should be focused on as a medical provider, is building trust. The more you build trust, the easier the sales process becomes. You don't have to push your services down people's throat because they already trust you by way of entertainment, by way of education, by way of just knowing who you are before they decide to book an appointment. So here's what I want you to take away. Trust starts before people are ready to book. And the more you can get people to trust you before they book an appointment, the easier it is to get the conversion. Now, if you're completely lost, you don't even know where to start. Your current marketing company is just constantly telling you to push your Botox special, talk about your newest FDA cleared device, and we're going to cancel them right now. We're going to go over to my website. We're going to book a discovery call, and that way I can talk to you one-on-one, face-to-face, and I can know what your specific problem is. A discovery call is equivalent to a consultation, right? So think about it like this. I had someone comment on one of my TikTok videos just last week, and she was like, I'm not even getting any leads. That's the problem, because I made a video about lead generation and what you should do the second the lead comes in. And she's like, well, I'm not even getting any leads. So that's my problem. And she wanted me to give her advice. And here's the thing. There could be so many missing parts to the puzzle if you're not getting any leads. What does your online positioning look like? What does your follow-up process look like? What does your inquiry flow look like? And without me being able to determine all of those things and hearing about your specific situation, I could only give you generic advice. Probably advice that you could just go Google or Chat GPT. And I never want to do that. So I always say, a discovery call is equivalent to a consultation. So imagine someone popping in your inbox and they're like, well, how many units of Botox do I need? Hell, you don't know, because you've never even seen this person in person before. You don't know what their goals are, so you can't really tell them how many units of Botox they actually need without a proper assessment. So I encourage you to visit my website, book a discovery call, and let's talk. Now, while you wait on the next video, I want you to go watch this video where I talk about having the owning Manhattan mindset. If you hadn't already seen that, go watch it. Well, I talk about having the mindset to win, because building trust, yeah, it does come with putting yourself out there, but you have to have the mindset to win first. So go watch this video while you wait on the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the good things, and I will see y'all in this video. Bye for now.